Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Stephanie, this is Misty, my tiny wagon, and today I would like to introduce you to a campsite I found on Hipcamp that I absolutely love. The grounds are park-like, it's very well kept, there's lots of privacy here at Tilton River. This is the entrance to the property. Let me show you what we got here. There is a link to the campground in the description below. A short drive down the gravel road leads you to the barn, which is also an art studio, and that's where you check in. It is very simple. You just grab your instructions, your registration, and find your campsite and start setting up. There's a total of 8 campsites that are spread out on 10 acres. So it's really spacious and very beautiful setting with many different species of trees that they planted. That's why they call the campground the Arboretum. There's also a cabin available for rent. What I also love about this campground is that there are no RV hookups. There's no electricity, there's no water, no sewer. They do have potable water though if you need some. However, it feels like you're out in nature, but you're on a private property, and it's not like a busy campground. It's so peaceful out here. For me, it's a great place to just reflect, get more in tune with myself, and just be in the moment. There are several trails, including one that heads down to the river, but around the campground, those 10 acres, you can walk around barefoot. The ground is super soft and the grass feels great. It's amazing. Today I am meeting with Barb, the owner. She is also an artist and she'll give me a tour through her studio.
Hello, come on in. Okay, so this room is all prints, and they are prints of my paintings. And we start over. If we looked at these this is the first picture I ever painted. I painted that when I was 19, and then my husband and I made these sticks they're very strong. They make great canes. They are made out of Devil's Club, which is unusual. I don't know if you're familiar with Devil's Club, but it has great big leaves that are covered with just horrible spines that if they get in you, they want to go straight through. They don't want to come back out. It's one of the things you do not want to run into in the woods. But if you take them and peel them, the wood is very, very strong. See, I can't even bend that. And it has these really interesting little characteristics at the joints where they are, they're just interesting. Everywhere where they were scarred, they make this interesting stuff. And this one, where you pick one that has a root that already does that, is a great little cane. Been made this entry for my art gallery, and it's wonderful. It's made out of this knotty pine, and before we had a difficult time figuring out how to get upstairs without going through the barn, and this is such a clever solution. I really appreciate that he built this for me. This is the space where I do my paintings and where I hang my originals. This is one that I painted recently, and I've been doing more and more abstracts lately because I have a background in engineering and I really want to loosen up a little bit. So this one is very precise, and that's the engineering in me showing. This one now is painted with a credit card and watercolor, and that really helps me kind of loosen up and feel the artwork. And I really want to add a little more abstractness to my regular work. So I'm trying to make this background look like it is something, not just, like, so what is this bird standing on? And I'm thinking it's autumn leaves and just duff underneath. And so I'm trying to match those colors and yet make it look kind of leaf-like. So I'm going to use just the palette knife and just put some leafy looking blotches on it. A few years years ago, when I first retired and started painting, I started doing oil pastels. This one is nutcrackers done with oil pastels, and they turned out fairly well. It was my first experience with oil pastels, but I liked them so well that I took a couple of them to a local bakery where they have a whole wall where they display artwork, and asked them if I could hang a couple of paintings on their wall. And they looked at my work and they said, "You can have the whole wall next November." And I was so excited because I've never been able to publicly display artwork before. And so I came home and it was only like January. And so I had a whole year to paint. And I painted nothing but nutcrackers for a whole year. And I'm pretty sure I'll never paint another one. My husband makes furniture from slabs that we cut on our own sawmill, and this is one of them. This is crimson maple. I joined Art Trails this year, which is a group of artists that gets together, and every year they put on a studio tour where you can go from one artist studio to the other, and they put in a little spot in all of these in the booklet that talks about their gallery, and in the middle is the little map, and it's a self-guided map. And when there's 2 weekends a year that this is on, and you can go from gallery to gallery and see different artists' art and just travel all through Lewis County.
Farm fresh eggs and blueberries. What a treat! And then, while eating my breakfast, I get to watch the deer come through. After breakfast, we went for a short hike to go down to the river. The river trail is about 3/4 of a mile long. Parts of it are fairly steep, but it's a beautiful trail. Down here, you have your own private sandy beach with a swimming hole. There's no one around. It's beautiful.
And this is our fruit and vegetable garden. More fruit than vegetable this year because we didn't put in very much.
What's going on over here?
Hi. You're pruning the grapes.
No, I'm pruning the kiwi.
The kiwi down there.
Yeah,
I've never seen a kiwi plant.
right here.
Huh? Yeah,
It's a tree?
Yep.
It's a lot like grapes.
These here are the large kiwis. We have one male plant, that one right there, and then 2 female of the large kiwis. And here's an example right here. Right there, and there's more up here, and there's more hanging out here and up in here. This male plant puts out flowers, and then it pollinates all the rest of these here. And then over there we've got 3 or 4 different kinds of grapes in that arbor there. The birds get them, we don't.
This is my husband Terry. We've been married for over 25 years. We met singing karaoke about 26 years ago here in Morton, and which was a fun time.
Yep.
And after that, we participated in the local theater group. There's a theater in Morton that we helped rebuild and get going. We've got a sawmill over there, and we cut a lot of slabs and made lumber. We got a whole barn load of some lumber. Terry does a lot of the gardening here, and he still makes some furniture.
Yep, I got a piece in there right now. I'm making a black walnut coffee table, so we'll see how that turns out.
And he's the vinegar maker, and he's the one that does the honey.
Yep. Don't have the beehives anymore, but we did honey for a couple years, and we make vinegar out of the raspberries and the blueberries and strawberries and
apples and
apple
cherries
vinegars. Yeah.
and
I make various kinds of vinegar. This one here is just made out of store-bought beer that I inoculated with some raw vinegar, and so it's kind of a malty flavor, nice clear color. And I don't pasteurize most of them. Some I do because people like them pasteurized, but this has got all the good stuff in it. It's made from Concord grapes. A little thicker, can't see through it, but when you hold it up to the sun, it's a beautiful color. These are made out of apple peels that we had left over from squeezing our apples. So it's apple cider vinegar. And I just let that go to vinegar. First it goes to wine and apple wine, and then you let it ferment into apple vinegar.
How long does it take for it to ferment?
Up to 6 months it can take.
Oh my God, your whole head is in there, Ralphie. Jesus Christ.
He would be so good to have out here.
What are nasturtiums?
They're just edible flowers. You can put those on your plate and eat them. And in the bottom of this little thing, if you take one and bite that end off and suck on it, you get a little bit of honey or nectar out of there. It's very sweet. And then you can eat the flower. And it's kind of peppery. Right here's a hemlock seedling, and I'm just leaving the weeds sort of so that they'll be protected from the heat. It's all real nice and moist down in here. Here's another hemlock, and it's put on this much new growth just this year since I dug them up. And then down here is a cedar seedling, and it's put on a lot, this much since I dug it up, all that. So they're growing really nice, even with all these weeds. A bunch of them in here. So I got about 300 new trees in this space here. You go, kiddos.
When Terry and I met, I already owned this property, and I was raising Christmas trees. But when he came along, he had all these big ideas, and that's where we got the name for the place, which is Tilton River Big Ideas.
Yep.
And he had some really good ones, including planting the Arboretum.
Well, we had this area down there at the other end of this airstrip, and it wouldn't grow Christmas trees anymore because the ground was too wet. So we bought a bunch various seedlings of different types, spruce, pine, fir, different varieties of those, and planted those out with little cul-de-sacs. Those trees grew and grew and grew, and we took care of it and mowed and all that for years, and finally Barb says, well, I think I'll make a campground. And
we went to a class in Morton at the community college and on social media, and so we found out about things like Hipcamp, and so we came home and I started looking into the Hipcamp, and he started looking into Airbnb, and his little cabin across the street, he put it on Airbnb, and within 20 minutes he had a booking.
right.
And I had just one Hipcamper that first year, but Hipcamp was a brand new platform then, and that was in 2016. So, and it's just grown from there.
The rest is history. We first started with 4 sites, now we have 8. So I think we'll stop there. So this is our little sawmill. It's made in Sweet Home, Oregon. It's called the Lynn Mill. Sweet Home's in Lynn County, Oregon. Just east of Lebanon, Albany, and Corvallis. So it's up in the hills there. It's a bandsaw, and it'll cut logs up to 22 inches wide. And this piece right here is just an old log that we're going to cut and get rid of all this outer stuff, and probably there's some beautiful wood inside here to make picnic tables or this and that out of.
I stocked up on fresh cut firewood for later. This is the perfect place for me to get some solitude. Without much distraction, I was able to shoot a lot of videos here. Some of them aren't even published yet, like product reviews, and it helped me to get more familiar with equipment that I had not used before. Press the start button, pumping and water is coming out. Oopsie! Oh no, we got a leak. Okay, I'm gonna stop and I'll screw it back in and we'll try again. Okay, let's see if it works better this time. Yes, it's working. Did you hear the heater come on? So it's an instant water heater. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, let's see. They even allow you to fly your drone here. Okay. Let's do this. Hopefully I won't crash, okay? And this is the video of my first time flying the drone. I was so nervous. It's up in here. The Zero Breeze Mark II is a truly portable air conditioner I can charge with my solar panels. And you can find a link to that video on the top right corner. I found a great little brewery in Morton and decided to bring some beer back to the campground. Batch Brewing. And then there was this cell phone signal booster that gave me a lot of trouble. I didn't want to fully install it before testing it out.
So short. I'm waiting short. Yeah, do anymore. Come on. It's not locking. Now, how in the world am I supposed to bring this up? It's still not fully extended, but it's higher than it was. There's no way I can ever fully extend that thing without help. There's no way. Well, let's see. Not gonna give up that easy. Wish me luck. Up it goes. It's way up higher now.
Unfortunately, it really didn't work out for me. I had to send it back. It finally was time to slow down and relax. I don't feel like working that hard anymore. While I was preparing dinner, Ralphie got away with rolling in deer poop, and then he pretended like nothing had happened. I just was craving a salad tonight, fresh stuff. Cheers. I don't live in Misty full-time yet, but I still have several trips planned this year. I'm just waiting for the heat to pass and then go with the flow. One big thing is that I still have to figure out how to earn money while I'm traveling, and I'm really hoping the YouTube channel will help with that. So I'm taking my time right now. I'm refining my skills with the new equipment that I invested in to make better videos and improve my skills as a content creator and hope for the best. Ever since coming to the United States in 1999 after traveling the world for a couple of years, I worked hard on living a more meaningful life and to create value and to be of service in one way or the other. So that's part of me now. And that's why I like to share stories of people that have done something outstanding or mention small businesses that I'd like to support, just to create more value. But let me show you around the campground. This is the cabin that you can rent. I was really fortunate that during the weekdays there was hardly anybody there. Here's where you get your water. All the campsites have a fireplace and a picnic table available. It's located about 100 miles south of Seattle, Washington. There's plenty of hiking around here with Mount St. Helens and Mount Rainier so close. And Ike Kinswa State Park for water sports and swimming.
Indian art here is based on a mask that is of the Indian character CCoodle, who is a mythical creature it's a double-headed serpent. And the Indians often used it as on their gate posts because of the two-headed dragon. And it was one head for friend to friend and the other head for foe to foe, which meant that welcome friends, and it's a warning to enemies to stay away. And this is actually a depiction of the mask as it's opened up. So in the middle is the human face, and then the two creatures on either side.
Did you do that yourself?
I did this. It took me 2 years. It's on 10 sheets of plywood. I painted them one at a time upstairs in my gallery. So I paint one, and I get it all done, and then I'd get the sheet of plywood and lean it right up next to it and make sure the line's connected. And then I'd paint the next one. So this is a sheet of plywood. So it's 40 feet long plus the tongues.
Barb and Terry really created a very special place here, and I hope that you get to visit sometime. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I would love to hear from you. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And please subscribe to my channel so you'll never miss another episode of Misty's Adventures.
How come the stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away? Show us where we are. What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of? I wonder. How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep